Whoever has my commandments and observes them is the one who loves me. And whoever loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and reveal myself to him. We just heard that in the gospel. And there is no doubt in my mind that our Blessed Mother lived this out in her life par excellence. And everything she does is to help us enthrone Christ in our own hearts. Think for a moment of a mountain guide. The job of a mountain guide is to lead people from the base camp up to the summit of the mountain. The guide knows the mountain. He can read the weather conditions. He encourages the people as they're going up. He prevents them from the dangers that he's aware of. He shares in the setbacks and the mistakes along the way. And God has chosen Mary as our personal mother and our mountain guide, who will lead us safely up the mountain of salvation. She encourages. She will protect us from the dangers of getting picked off by the evil one. She will share in our setbacks and help us through them. But here's the deal. Often we choose our own route up the mountain, and often it becomes long and tedious and arduous with many setbacks, and they're of our own making up the mountain without the aid of Mary. Some have come to believe that there is nothing at the top of the mountain worth going for. But Mary summons us and says, let's go. Let's go to the top of the mountain, and I will lead you. And yes, it's a lot of work to go up to the summit, but it's where you will find true and eternal happiness. Why? Because the fullness of God's glory is at the summit. Mary is not only the mother of God, but also the perfect disciple. Some think that if I have a relationship with Mary, it will take away from my relationship with Jesus Christ. But in reality, loving the people that Jesus loves and knows doesn't take our love away from God, but rather it amplifies it. It magnifies it. The more we love Mary, the more we will love Jesus Christ. Think of it this way. Jesus is like the sun in the sky, the source of all light. Mary is the moon. She simply reflects the light that comes from the sun. So for us to have a relationship with Mary as our mother is what we really need to work toward. When Jesus was on the cross dying, one of the last things he said was, "Woman, behold your son," as he gazed upon his mother at the foot of the cross. Now, by calling his mother woman, was that a title of derision? No, not at all. Woman refers back to Eve, the mother of all the living. That's what Eve means, the mother of all the living. So what Jesus is saying is, woman, Eve, now the mother of all the redeemed, there is your son. And then he turned to the beloved disciple and he said, behold your mother. And one of the reasons John is referred to as the beloved disciple is because of a deeper meaning. What Jesus is saying is that anyone who is a disciple of mine is beloved. And my beloved disciples are your children. So if you're going to be my disciple, my mom is your mom. And he's saying to his beloved disciple, woman, my beloved disciples are your children. And so this is why we call Mary our mother, because Jesus gave her to us from the cross as our mother. So we have an earthly mom, but we also have a mom that Jesus gave us from the cross. So we have to have a relationship with Mary. Remember the next line that Jesus said from the cross. He said, from that hour, the disciple took her into his home. So the beloved disciple who loved Jesus also loved Jesus' mom as his own mom. So Jesus gave his mom to us as our mom. So we must take her into our home as well and have some sort of a relationship with her. So where is Mary in your life? Is she your mom? Have you taken her into your home? Is she the one who is continually telling you to go to him? Do whatever Jesus tells you. I hope so. I'd like to close with a story of how our earthly mothers show us this. It was a busy day in Costa Mesa, a California home. But then, with 10 children and one on the way, every day was a bit hectic for Davida Dalton. But on this one particular day, she was having trouble doing even the routine chores, all because of one little boy. Little Lenny, who was 3 years old at the time, was on her heels, no matter where she went. Whenever she stopped to do something and turned back around, she would trip over him. Several times, she patiently suggested fun activities to keep him occupied. She'd say, "Lenny, wouldn't you like to play on the swing set?" But he simply smiled an innocent smile and said, "Oh, that's all right, Mommy. I'd rather be in here with you." Then he continued to bounce happily along behind her. Well, finally, after stepping on his toes for about the 5th time, she began to lose her patience and insisted that he go outside and play with the other children. And so when she angrily asked him why he was acting this way, he looked up at her with sweet green eyes and he said, "Mommy, in Sunday school, my teacher told me to walk in Jesus' footsteps, but I can't see him, so I'm walking in yours." And she gathered little Lenny in her arms, and she held him close to her heart as the tears of love and humility spilled over from the prayer that grew in her heart. A prayer of thanks for the simple yet beautiful perspective of a 3-year-old boy. I want everyone here to think for a moment about the sacrifices that your mothers have made for you, especially the young people, the teenagers. When, your mom has no intelligence whatsoever. Think about that. Think about all that your mother has done for you in the way that you respond to her. Do you respond to her with the respect that is due to her? Do you respond to her with the love that she has shown you? Think about that. Thank you, moms, for the beautiful way that you reflect Mary, pointing to Jesus. We, your children, are indebted to you.